Welcome back. As we've said, President Trump is in Pittsburgh right now. He just arrived at a local hospital that treated victims of the synagogue massacre. Folks, on the same day the White House announced the president would be making this trip, the Trump administration also announced it is deploying more than 5,000 additional troops to the border to stop what it says are a caravan of migrants and refugees that the president has called an invasion. Keep in mind, investigators say the suspect in Saturday's synagogue shooting blamed Jews for illegal immigration, even referencing a conspiracy theory that somehow a Jewish group that helps refugees called the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, or HIAS, was bringing people to the United States to do violence. With me now from Pittsburgh is Mark Hetfield. He's the president and CEO of HIAS. Mr. Hetfield, I'm sorry that this is when I'm inviting you on this show, but I appreciate you being here, sir.
Thank you, Todd.
Let me start with, tell viewers the history of HIAS.
HIAS is the oldest refugee organization in the world. We were started at the end of the 19th century to help Jews who were fleeing the pogroms of Eastern Europe. And we helped them get off Ellis Island, get through the immigration authorities, get kosher meals, and get used to their new life in the United States. But over the last few years, we've made a transformation from being an organization that helps refugees because they are Jewish to one that helps refugees because we are Jewish. So we now help refugees of all faiths and ethnicities. We do that overseas, keeping them safe where they are, but we also do it around the United States through the U.S. Resettlement Program in partnership with the U.S. government and with local partners like Jewish Family and Community Services of Pittsburgh.
What work had you done on Central American immigrants?
We have been advocates of Central American immigrants, in particular asylum seekers, because that's our mandate from Central America, who are fleeing the violence in the Northern Triangle. We represent them in immigration court and asylum proceedings, but we're certainly not down there with the caravan right now.
Did you have any idea when you saw this social media tweet by the suspect, Robert Bowers, when he said, "Why, hello there, HIAS. You like to bring in hostile invaders to dwell among us. We appreciate the list of friends you have provided." He's talking about a link to a directory of synagogues that were participating in the HIAS event that he was referencing. Before that social media post, how would you have described the level of vitriol aimed at the organization before this incident?
Well, we didn't know about this specific individual until after the incident. But HIAS has long been targeted by hate groups and by hate groups that are masquerading as issue sites, if you know what I mean. So we're quite used to it. And our strategy has been to just ignore it and focus on the positive and focus on our work. But it looks like we have to change that strategy now.
It's funny you say that. And look, we're a lot of different entities that are on the receiving end of some of these attacks are having these same conversations. In this case, you're talking about, what does that mean to you? And what have you thought about? I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, that you sort of have to stop ignoring it. I know I've tried over the years to ignore it, and you're right, that doesn't seem to be effective. What are you thinking?
Well, what we know and what really was driven home this weekend is that hateful speech always leads to hateful acts, and that's exactly what happened. And you can't just ignore the hate speech because it just makes these haters angrier and angrier as they are in their echo chambers on social media. So we have to start paying attention, and we have to start acting to prevent acts like this, atrocities like this, from taking place.
If you somehow get time with the president before he leaves, and I have no idea whether you are or not, perhaps the White House has reached out to you. If they have, has the White House reached out to you?
The White House has not reached out to me. The Secretary of State has not reached out to me. Thousands of people, thousands of organizations have been reaching out to me, but nobody
from the government.
Administration.
Nobody from the government. No. Let's say they do.
Nobody senior from the government.
The president asked you for some advice. All right, how would you ask him to talk about, for instance, this group of migrants that is making this trek up north?
To refer to them what they are, which is migrants and asylum seekers. They're not invaders. To stop using hate language, to stop otherizing people. to stop otherizing people who are born in foreign countries.
Let me ask you this. Did you feel as if anti-Semitic attacks were on the decline before Saturday?
Well, I knew for a fact the anti-Semitic attacks were on the rise before Saturday.
But I'm saying the perception, as an American Jew, did you feel as if there was that much hate until Saturday, or does it feel different now?
It feels a lot different now. This is a game changer. This synagogue was attacked, A, because they were Jews, and B, because they were helping refugees.
Pure and simple. What is this? Where do you go next?
Well, I mean, this is, as I said, this is a total game changer for us. We now have to protect ourselves in a different way in terms of physical security, which is tough for us because we want to be a welcoming environment for the asylum seekers and refugees that we work with.
Yep.
And we're going to have to pay a lot more attention to the hate speech out there and do something about it, not just as an organization, but as a society. And our leaders are going to have to do it as well. And certainly, if they're going to be leaders to protect us from hate speech and to prevent hateful speech from evolving or devolving into hateful acts, they're going to have to stop saying hateful things themselves.
Mark Hetfield, again, I'm sorry this is the first time we're meeting and it's under these circumstances. But thank you for coming on and sharing your views.
Thank you, Chuck.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Once again, it's Mark Hetfield. He's the president and CEO of HIAS, the organization that the shooter was referencing when he decided to go in. Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.